Unit 8, Reading 1, page 114.
The Autism Puzzle. Autism is a little understood brain disorder. It is marked by poor social and communication skills and by repetitive behavior. Meet 2-year-old Sean, who is just diagnosed with autism. Sean sits spinning the wheels of a toy car, spinning, spinning, spinning. Sean's parents have learned that spinning is not a typical phase of childhood. It is a common repetitive behavior of autistic children. "Let's pretend we're cats," Sean's 3-year-old cousin suggests. "Meow," she says, walking on hands and knees. Sean, also 3 now, flaps his hands in front of his face. Most autistic kids can't pretend because they're not capable of imagining something that is not real. The odd hand-flapping behavior is common in kids with autism. "Let's go to the market," Sean's mom says. Sean, now 4, hurries to the door and stands waiting. The market is noisy with recorded music and the clatter of shopping carts. Sean covers his ears and is soon screaming. His mom infers that the noise hurts his ears. Extreme sensitivity to loud or harsh sounds is common in autism. So is sensitivity to bright lights and various textures. 6-year-old Sean is watching a Sesame Street videotape. A, B, C, it sings. Sean rewinds the tape and it repeats, A, B, C. His mother calls, "Sean, don't rewind the tape." He knows this isn't allowed, but he likes to see the same part over and over. "No rewind," he answers. Like most autistic children, Sean likes repetition, and he can't constrain his behavior. His language skills are poorly developed, and he doesn't speak in full sentences. Sean's school textbook asks this question: which of these smells good? A, a window. B, a flower. C, a lamp. Sean lifts the book to his nose and sniffs. None of them smells at all, so he leaves the answer blank. Schools usually fail to accurately assess the abilities of autistic children because classroom tasks are not appropriate for them. For instance, many autistic children are not able to link a printed word with something that is not real. Sean's family goes to visit Grandma and Grandpa. Sean, now 8, rings the doorbell, opens the door and walks in. "Hi, Sean," says Grandma. He ignores her and turns on the TV. "Did you get wet in the rain?" Grandpa asks. "Yes, rain," Sean answers. Like most autistic children, Sean doesn't understand how to behave appropriately in social situations and prefers to be alone. He answers questions that people ask, but doesn't understand the give and take of conversation. 11-year-old Sean is playing baseball. When it's his turn at bat, he hits the ball into the outfield. "Run!" yells the team coach. Sean walks toward first base. Meanwhile, Brad picks up the ball and brings it to Sean. Like all players on this special team, Sean and Brad have autism. Most participants on this team are boys. That's because kids with autism are predominantly male, with boys outnumbering girls by a ratio of 4 to 1. Autistic kids may have excellent physical skills, but they rarely participate in team sports because they don't understand the rules. Sean is doing math homework. He writes fast, and in less than 5 minutes, he has solved 25 multiplication problems. Some autistic children do well at school subjects, but most do not. Sean is very bright, but not academically mature. His speaking and listening skills are poor, but in school he is good at math and spelling. He enjoys looking at photographs, and he likes maps and calendars. He frequently writes letters to Grandma and Grandpa describing places his family has visited. It's bedtime. Sean showers and puts on pajamas. He brushes his teeth and climbs into bed. "I love you," says Mom, giving him a kiss. "I love you," Sean repeats and closes his eyes. Sean is asleep. Finally, his handsome face and sturdy body relax.
Unit 8, Reading 2, page 121.
Looking for answers. Autism is a neurological disorder that usually appears before a child's third birthday. It is marked by impaired language skills, impaired social skills, and repetitive behaviors. Recent increase in autism. Recently, there has been a dramatic and unexplained increase in the number of children diagnosed with autism. Medical scientists estimate an autism ratio of 1 in every 110 children in the United States. Other countries show similar high ratios: 1 in 160 in Australia, 1 in 250 in India, and 1 in 475 in Japan, for example. Scientists believe that the differences among countries may reflect how children are evaluated rather than the actual proportion of children who have autism. These numbers are alarming to scientists because they do not know what causes autism and do not know how to cure it. Medical researchers have been looking for answers. The autism spectrum. Scientists use the term autism spectrum to refer to the range of abilities that autistic people display. At one end of the spectrum, individuals are severely affected, while at the other end, individuals are only mildly affected. Some individuals cannot speak, others are highly verbal. Some are overly sensitive to noise, others seem not to notice it. Some prefer to be alone, others want friends. Some even marry and have children. Some are unable to learn school subjects. Others go on to earn a PhD degree. Indeed, each person with autism may have a unique set of traits. Looking for causes of autism. Although scientists agree on the traits that characterize autism, they have not yet found what causes autism. In the 1950s, autism was considered a psychological disorder caused by refrigerator mothers. Their personalities were thought to be so cold and uncaring that their children grew up unable to speak or interact with others. As research progressed, scientists realized that autism was actually a neurological or brain disorder. Studies have identified several areas of the brain that differ from the norm in autistic individuals. These areas involve emotions, critical thinking, learning, and paying attention. However, no one area seems to hold the key to autism. Some researchers have inferred that faulty connections between areas of the brain may be responsible for autism. Or perhaps there are too many connections. That could cause an overload of messages within the brain. Medical scientists have also explored brain chemistry. In a recent study, researchers took blood samples from many newborns. When some of these babies later developed autism, the researchers tested their early blood samples and found high levels of 4 chemicals that influence the early phases of brain development. However, they have not been able to prove a direct link between the chemicals and the autism. There is strong agreement that genes, the carriers of inherited traits, play a role in autism. Research continues to explore heredity as a cause. Recently, researchers found a link between autism and the age of the child's father, with the odds of parenting an autistic child increasing with older fathers. It is also known that among autistic children, males predominate by a ratio of 4 to 1. Additionally, autism seems to run in families. Despite the strong evidence pointing to heredity, scientists haven't yet identified a single gene responsible for autism. Instead, they now think that hundreds of changes take place in a child's genes before birth. Some of these changes affect connections between brain cells. When genetic changes involve connections in the brain, autism can occur. Scientists are also investigating environmental causes. They have looked into toxic metals in water and soil, harmful chemicals in household products, viruses, air pollution, and even television viewing, but have not found a consistent link to autism. Recently, some scientists have suggested that a combination of hereditary and environmental factors may cause autism. Treating autism. Despite this extensive research, scientists so far have been unsuccessful in finding either a cause or a cure for autism. However, treatment, either through medication or training, has benefited many autistic children by helping them to relax, to constrain antisocial behavior, to participate socially, and to learn useful skills. Medication has worked for some children. However, it has not been widely used because it can have serious side effects. Other treatments that have worked for some children include controlling the child's diet, providing the child with an animal to take care of, and encouraging self-expression through art. The Chinese use acupuncture and relaxation programs. Applied behavior analysis. A common training is applied behavior analysis, which breaks down a task into tiny steps and rewards every small success with a bit of cookie or other treat. If a child does not speak, for example, the therapist will reward even a small sound a child makes when she asks him to repeat a word. It may take several sessions to get the child to utter a sound, and many more to get him to say a word. But each success is praised and rewarded. Many autistic children have improved greatly with such training, but others have not. Whatever treatment parents decide is appropriate, they must be aware that children are most likely to benefit if they begin early. Delaying treatment until the child matures is a waste of valuable time. Parents must also recognize that not all treatments benefit every child, so they must regularly assess their child's behavior for signs of progress. Treatment that doesn't work is also a waste of time. Meanwhile, scientists are still looking for answers to solve the autism puzzle.